Hey guys, welcome back to PTCG. I'm Devan, and today we're going to be doing another PTCGL video. This time we're going to be covering Arceus VSTAR and Giratina VSTAR, both of which have been extremely prevalent since their release, and I think are still an extremely strong contender for Worlds this year. Before we move on to the deck overview, I'd just like to ask if you could subscribe down below. It helps us out a ton. But yeah, without further ado, I'll send you to the deck overview, so I'll see you there. Guys, welcome to our Arceus VSTAR and Giratina VSTAR deck overview. We're going to be taking a look at the cards here. I think we'll just start off with our Arceus VSTAR. With its Trinity Nova attack, it does 200 damage for 3 colorless. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like, and its Starbirth VSTAR power, allowing you to search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, which is great. This is probably the strongest and most prevalent VSTAR we've ever seen, and probably ever will see, to be honest. And it pairs great with Giratina VSTAR and its Lost Impact attack, which does an incredible 280 damage, which is enough to knock out pretty much all VSTARs, if I'm not mistaken, all VSTARs in the format, at the cost of putting 2 energy attached to this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. Well, not this Pokemon, your Pokemon. Star Requiem for a Grass and a Psychic allows you to knock out one of your Pokemon, but you have to have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. So, unlikely that we'll be using it, but that's not really the point. We have the Squavit and the Bibarel engine. Bibarel, of course, allowing you to draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, and Squavit, which allows you to shuffle your hand and put it on the bottom of the deck and then draw 1. So, it's a good synergy. You just shuffle, draw 1, and then you can Bibarel back a ton of cards. You do play Spiritomb, which just kills all basic V, which is great. Going into the trainers now, it's pretty bog standard. We play 3 Iono, a Research, so that's our main draw here, as well as 3 Judge. Our 1 Raihan is great in situations where we do get knocked out and we have to come back from that. We do play 3 Boss, because the thing about Arceus and Giratina especially, is that you've got to take the knockouts you need to take. We play 4 Path, because although it seems like this deck relies a lot on abilities, it kind of really doesn't, because as soon as you hit your Starbirth, that's really all you need in terms of rule box Pokemon abilities. Cleansing Gloves is great for all Psychic Pokemon, especially things like Gardevoir, and some Lost Box, although normally you're just going to knock those out anyways. We have 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball for Pokemon Search, and Assurance Care to recover. Our energy, we have a 4-4 line of, well, not line, but a 4-4 of Grass and Psychic, which is all you really need, and 4 Double Turbo, which is incredibly important to get off the first Trinity charge. Ideally, we can start with an Arceus and then Trinity charge onto a Giratina on the bench, and we'll be ready to go. We do play also 2 V-Guard energy, just to ensure that our Pokemon do not get knocked out, because sometimes the damage is a little bit close. So that's pretty much it for the deck overview. I'll send you to the battle now, and then you can see exactly how this deck works, so see you there. Okay, so we're going into our game here. I guess we'll see what we're fighting in a moment. Hopefully it is something cool. See a lot of Charizard paraphernalia, so maybe it is a Charizard. There is, of course, a video just up on our channel now, which focuses mainly on Charizard EX from the upcoming Obsidian Flame set. We kinda iffy if we want to go first. You could go either way, I think. With this hand, no. But that's okay. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, make sure you check out our Charizard video if you like Charizard. Especially if you like Dark-type Charizard. See what they put up here. An Entei. So we will draw for our turn, and we basically have nothing to go off of. So I don't want to keep the Double Turbo, just so that if I get an Arceus, but I'm probably going to Judge, to be honest. So I think I'll just attach for now, and then I'll end my turn, and then next turn, hopefully we can get that Arceus. We'll have to see what they can do with their Entei here. All of these Entei and Raikou and Suicune, less so Suicune, but these decks are honestly pretty quick to set up, so especially to get attacking. Although, since my bench is empty, of course, their Burning Rondo attack is not going to do nearly enough to knock me out. And admittedly, I do have a Giratina VSTAR in my hand, so we can at least get set. If we can get a good hand off this judge, then we honestly are probably killing it. There's their own Arceus onto their bench. They might have better luck pulling off a Trinity Charge than I do. We are leaning into the Charizard. Charizard, honestly, I think this is the first time in a long time that Charizard has had the support that it does. The Pokemon Go Charizard is kind of crazy, allowing all of your fire energy to count as 2, or double fire energy, which is honestly crazy. And I think it'll make for an interesting Charizard deck in the future. Less so now, you don't see it a ton. See what they're gonna do here. Ton of energy from everywhere. Magma Basin is a good card. Fire has a lot of support, but I find it doesn't really not what I want it to do. We're gonna evolve. Not Charizard. Fire types don't really. They have a ton of support, but I don't find that they're overly great. So we can get the Arceus. I mean, it's definitely the play. We might want to attach an energy this turn. We're not going to get off a Trinity Charge, though. That being said, on the next turn, we will be able to Starbirth, so for now, we will just end our turn and hope for the best on the next one. This is kind of a not great start, but ideally, as I mentioned, we would just Trinity Charge with the Arceus. I got all the Charizards. Fleet-footed, probably helping them out a ton. I'm wondering what I should grab with the Starbirth, because I'm thinking the best bet is probably to grab a Double Turbo and a Research. We only play one Research, but that is all I need. So they're going to do their own Trinity Charge. Although, it does make it tough, because I won't be able to Trinity Charge next turn if I do go for the Arceus VSTAR, which I will, because I have no way out otherwise. So, Cleansing Gloves doesn't do much for us. We will evolve, and we are going to Starbirth. Incredibly strong ability. So we will grab, hopefully, a 1 Research, and hopefully yet again, a Double Turbo. At the very least, our Giratina can probably take an attack. So we do got the Squavit, and we do got an Ultra Ball. We're going to throw out the Path. I wonder if it's worth it to get rid of the one of the Ionos and the other Arceus. I think I may, just to get out a Bibarel, because then we can start drawing big next turn. And they're not overly necessary at this point in time, so throw down the Bidoof. And that is pretty much all I'm going to do this turn, because next turn I'll be able to Iono. I love Iono. Such a good card. I feel like it's kind of trickier with Iono because of the putting it on the bottom of the deck. So unless you have a reliable way to shuffle your deck, it does make it pretty hard to get those cards that you just put on the bottom, of course. It does do a number to Lost Zone decks just because of that. Because usually they have... With Lost Zone decks, they need combos, and if you disrupt their combos, chances are you'll get a step ahead, I should say. So they're going to put up the Charizard V, which seems like an interesting choice, because I will absolutely do a Trinity Nova next turn. So they already have 20 damage on them due to the Magma Basin from earlier, meaning that they will in fact be knocked out. But I guess we'll see. Interesting. Probably a good idea. It does end their turn, but... Oh! Alright. Not even going to pull off the attack. Alright. We'll just do that there, and then we will play down the Iono. See what we can get off this. Doesn't feel great getting them a bigger hand, but you can only do so much. Throw up the Arceus. Is there anything I want to do first? I could get the Bibarel. I think I'll wait. I don't think it's that big of a deal right now. We are 20 short. I did forget about that, but I think that's okay, because we will have a Giratina. Not a lot of Psychic in the deck, eh? Let's see. We'll grab the other grass. I mean, I don't know how much of a choice I really have. Throw them all on there. Next turn, his Charizard will go down. Another Entei on the bench. Their Burning Rondo's getting kind of strong. Due to the path, they can't fleet-footed, and they still can't Starbirth either. Are there any cards you guys are interested in getting out of Obsidian Flames? I feel like the set is honestly kind of lackluster, but there's a couple cards in it that I find really interesting, and I'm kind of excited to take a look at. None of them... Honestly, the vast majority of cards aren't super competitive, but there are some nice-looking illustration rares and the like, so if you got anything you're looking for, you should leave it in the comments. $150 damage. We do hold the boss, which is nice. I think the play is definitely that, but will I be able to live another turn if I do, is the question. Probably not. I'm a little tempted to Sharon's. And you know what? I'm gonna. We no longer have the boss, but I can take out this Entei, and we will have a fresh Arceus here, so I think we'll just Lost Impact. So, probably one of each is fine. Next turn we'll be able to pull off another one as well. Raihan could be honestly pretty good. We'll have to see. Luckily, I do have enough damage to just knock out this Arceus. And I'm not forgetting the double turbo this time, so can at least take that out. And they can Starbirth now as well. Can't help but wonder what they will grab. Maybe a boss? Boss might be a good play for them, actually. If they can take out my Arceus, then this Giratina doesn't really have much to go off of. Fire Energy. Interesting choice. I'm a big fan of EXP share. I've been seeing a lot of decks, or maybe experiencing a lot of decks that play EXP share, and, you know, I just think it's a pretty neat card. So I'm happy to see it. There's the Trinity Nova, meaning that at least I'll have the Arceus to follow up. Ideally. There's that. So we will throw that down. I'm going to throw the grass on there. And then I don't want a boss just yet, because we do have a couple options with the boss. So I think we'll honestly just Lost Impact. It's fine for now. So we will take out the Arceus, and the Raihan, hopefully we can retain it, and I think that might be the most clutch thing that we will have. We did get rid of that Choice Belt, which isn't my favorite, but might be a tough next turn. Do have the one psychic. Yeah, so there's that. Unfortunate, but I think we can still do this. So I'm going to attach there, play down the Raihan, throw it on there, which is great. I don't know what we would honestly really need at this point. Not much. Could go for another Tina. I'll bring out the Path for now. It is a little unfortunate that we did discard that belt so early, but hopefully we last one turn, and then all should be good. They do have two very prominent weaknesses here. We're just going to leave that. Being there, of course, they're two Charizard Vs with 20 and 40 HP respectively, which if they don't disrupt me or etc., we should be alright. It's pretty much their only choice right now is this Entei. Catch the Charizard down there. Another Charmander. Into what? I do not know. They could Boost Shake. I feel like I haven't seen Boost Shake in a long time. I remember back when Eternatus was rather popular, there were a couple. Oh! I should have grabbed the Switch maybe, eh? That's okay. I guess that works out for us anyways. put up the Arceus, and that's pretty much it for us. Throw down the boss, bring up the Zard, and then we will Trinity Nova. And that's it. Sure. Good stuff. You can see, I think this is a good example of how this deck can it can come back, you know? Even with our really incredibly lackluster start, to be honest, it kind of still came back, you know? I still ended up winning. And we still did 1100 damage, so... yeah, I think that gives you a pretty good idea of how this deck works. It's still rather popular in this Paldea Evolve format currently, and I feel like it might be a pretty popular pick for Worlds as well. It's just one of those things where consistency is king, right? Decks that are consistent are gonna win. Alright guys, so that was my video on Arceus VSTAR and Giratina VSTAR. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Is this gonna be your pick for Worlds? I think if it was me, I would consider it. Anyways, check out some of our other videos we posted recently. There's a few in there that are pretty cool. I mean, you saw the Charizard that we just fought against. We actually did a Charizard EX video for Obsidian Flames, so feel free to check that out. Other than that, I'd just like to remind you, if you could subscribe, it helps us out a ton. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.